All right, so this is going to be the front nine review for the Mallards Wing at the Refuge that we're going to be playing on May the 2nd of 2026. And I've already done this once and discovered that I uh, did not have the microphone on, so we're going to back up here, and this will be take two. So the first hole is a 322-yard par four. By the way, if you may remember, the Refuge, it is not a 36 front and 36 back. It is actually a 35 front nine and a 37 back nine to make up their par 72. So taking a look at the hole number one, if you can punch it out there about, let's get that to that's good enough. So 236, fairly safe hole, as you can see, fairly wide fairway. Dropper pin there, that's going to leave us about 81, how about 87? 87 yards in at a 50-foot dispersion around the green. You've got a risk of running off the green, but we're again 87 yards out. It's probably not going to happen. So pretty safe green. Taking a look at the green, big collection area, really making up the top. I would say almost 2/3 of the hole. Everything sloping toward the front of the green. You really don't run into a whole lot of trouble except the front right there is a pretty steep slope, but a pretty large collection area for the first hole. Hole number two, you were starting off, by the way, with four par fours. Hole number two, par four, 383 yards. So if we put this out about 232, it's going to leave us about 140 yards in. We drop the pin there. Now let's take a look at our approach shot. Again, with a dispersion of 50 foot. You do have water at this hole, so water comes into play. You also have a couple of bunkers. There's this one at about 110, and then this other one starting at about 136. But if you can hit the hole at 50, 50-foot dispersion, or excuse me, not hit the hole, but hit the green. And then let's take a look at the green. As you would expect, the green for the most part runs toward the water, although you don't have a lot of slope on this one, a lot of collection area. But the green for the most part is running toward the water, as would be expected. Take a look at hole number three, par four, 410 yards. And if we can punch it out there at roughly 234, leaving us 174 yards into the green. And so now let's take a look around the green. Fairly safe. You don't have any bunkers to speak of. Do have well, at that distance, you've got a relatively long second shot at about 173 yards in. Taking a look at the green, it's kind of all over the place. The front half is just really going in umpteen different directions. So the you've got this little collection area here in the front portion of it. When you get back to the back of the green, there's that very small collection area right there, and then everything seems to go away from it. So if they put the pin back there, there's a good chance you got an uphill putt from wherever you're going if it's in that collection area. Um, but this one it's really all over the place as far as the slope on this green. Take a look, hole number four, par four, 317 yards. By the way, I am playing from the blue tees, is where I'm looking at this. You do have that appears to be a bunker, just a fairway bunker, but that's a pretty far left. So if we punch it out at, again, 235 is about what I'm looking at. That's going to leave us 75 yards in. Let me see if I can back out for you. Right. So they're about 236. Um, Relatively wide. I mean, even if you went to the right, you've got some trees there, but probably be okay. So if we drop a pin here, and now we're going to have a short approach into the green. So we're going to back this down to 30. That puts us at 73 yards into the green. You do have this bunker here. Um, but at that distance, you're probably going to be okay. We don't have any other bunkers around the green besides that one little bunker. Taking a look at the green, everything is sloping for the most part, sloping toward the front of the green. Again, I would say the back left quadrant is going to be fairly flat. You don't get into a lot of slope until you get around the edges. Hole number 5, par 3, 135. You do have some bunkers here. So we've got bunker on the right, two bunkers on the left. And if I remember right, I'm going to show you here in just a second. So let's take a look at the green. Um, as you can see, it's kind of split down the middle a little bit. This right side of the green, pretty steep slope running off of the green, where on the left side where we've got the two bunkers, that's actually the safe play. Yes, the slope is running toward the left, but it's much flatter there. The front of the green, if you happen to hit the front of the green, it's going to be running off of the green toward the front. So really, even though you do have the two bunkers there, the safe play is probably to the left, or at least the left side, left half of the green. Hole number 6 is a par 5. So if we back this up to about 135 yards, or excuse me, 235 yards, as you can see, we do have this little bunker here for the long hitters at about, um, what is that, starting at about 243. But if you can stay clear of that at the 235 mark, leaving you about 312 into the green for the second shot. Obviously, you've got water over here. So the water is going to start at roughly from where we're at here at about 170, call it 176, which would leave 136 into the green. Now, obviously, if you want to take it on, if you want to try to get it up there to a 100-yard shot, water's coming into play on the right, trees are coming into play on the left, and you do have this tree sitting here, this kind of just getting in the way. So choose your choose your strategy, boys. But if you can get it up here for a 100-yard shot, you can get it into the green, obviously with 100. If you want to stay back, play more conservative, you're going to have about 136 yards into the green. And if we take a look at that, you do have the bunkers, two bunkers on the right side of the green. That tree, that's a shadow coming from the other side of the cart path, so you should be okay. Taking a look at the green, you know what? To me, it doesn't really slope toward the water as much as you would expect. In fact, the closest part of the water here, it actually seems to be sloping away from the water. But it's a fairly safe green in that there's a lot of collection area here. You've got to get to the right and to the back right and the back to really get into any slope to speak of. Moving on to hole number 7, par 3. Pretty lengthy par 3. You do have some bunker issues at about 140, and then another bunker over here at 163, 162. But if you can hit your tee shot 184 yards, you're gonna put it in the center of the green. And then taking a look at the green, the what I'm going to say probably the front third of the green is going to slope left to right. The further right you get, the steeper the slope. Obviously, if you can cover that first third fairly safe, it is going to, for the most part, slope back to front. But it's, like I say, relatively flat on the back 2/3 of the green. Got another par 3 on hole number 8, 173 yard par 3. Obviously, water. So we got some water issues there. We've got this small little bunker over on the right. Taking a look at the green. And again, you've got the water all around. the front and the right. So if you want a safe play, long and left is the way you want to go. But taking a look at the green, um, kind of doing what you would expect. It's sloping toward the water for the most part. You do have some slopes toward the edges, um, but all in all, the vast majority of the green is relatively flat. Not going to have a ton of speed on it. Well, I shouldn't say I don't know how fast the greens are going to be, but not a ton of slope is what I should say. And the last hole on the front nine is 300, or excuse me, a 535-yard par five. So if we're shooting it out there at 230, let's say 234, you can see that's a relatively wide part of the fairway. Fairly safe, especially with the fact that we've got this other hole over here to the left. So that's kind of a no man's land, what appears to be a no man's land between holes. So if you're gonna miss left, um, and then if we can put us at about 234 is good enough. Let's drop a pin there and see about our second shot. Again, we've got water. They like water at the refuge. If you want to play it safe, again, 200 yards is going to leave you 97 yards into the green. If you've got the big stick, and you want to try to carry the green, you're looking at, to the front of the green, you're looking at about 277, and obviously water comes very much into play. So if you want to take the 200-yard shot, we drop a pin. Now let's look at our basically 100-yard approach. That puts us to the middle of the green there. Drop that dispersion down a little bit. We do have the bunker over here on the left. And we've got some bunkers in the back here, but that's going to be relatively safe. And then obviously you've got the water on the right. So taking a look at the green, um, this seems to me to have a ridge running about halfway across. Um, I'm reading this as it's a ridge. That's why you have a faster slope running across that halfway mark. The front half of the green is going to slope toward the front and, as you would expect, toward the water. Back half is just kind of all over the place. Um, and you've got these collection areas. So for the most part, if you can get to the back half of the green, the slope's going to try to help you and to kind of keep you in the center of the green there. When I say center, I mean the back half. So um, I'm guessing that if you were to come up, if the pin is placed in the back half and you wind up in the front half, you're going to have an interesting, series of putts to get over a ridge down toward the hole is what I'm suspecting on that hole. All right, fellas, that's a preview of your front nine for the refuge. I'll be back with the back nine in a few.